This is Georgia 551, and recently I got a hold of something that belonged to my grandfather, and my parents finally remembered to hand it down to me right now. So I'm going to share it with you. It is a CompuChron digital watch. Now, he bought this in the 70s, and he died in 78, so I know that this watch is at least made in 1978. However, with some of the documentation inside, I know that it was made in at least 1977. And at least 30 years or so, the batteries have died. But before we go into any more, let's just take a look at it. Mind you, I've already did a little dismantling, so you will see that on the inside. We have manuals. Those were loose in the box. This is the back cover. And here's the watch itself. That's right, it's a digital watch from the mid to somewhat late 1970s. Now, the batteries were in here for 30 plus years, dead, and it's going to be very hard to get a look at it, but there was a slight ring of grayish-white corrosion on the battery that was in the negative terminal. There was a little crud in there, but I scraped it off and I took the watch to work, hence why the cover is off, and used a methyl ethyl ketone, or MEK, to get rid of any residue. And yes, my fingernails look terrible. I'm not all too familiar how these wrist straps work, so. And hopefully today, live on camera, we will get this working 30 years later. Alright, I show you that. Here's a good look at the back. Right here, if the camera wants to focus, there you go. That's the back. And these were the days when they still had personal service in the stores. See, they put my father's name. And here's the purchase date. February 12th, 1977. So this is an oldie. Now, pretty much these two manuals are identical, so what I'm going to do is flip through and I'm going to hold each page open for a couple seconds. Pause if you want to read any of it. Here we go. Starting now. 1, 2, next. Pause if you want to read it. Now. 1, 2, next. Pause if you want to read it. Now. 1, 2, next. And pause if you want to read it now. 1, 2, next. And that's pretty much it. Ready now. 1, 2, and that's it. I mean, this instruction manual is pretty much the same thing, except it's for a different set of watches, but it primarily goes to it's pretty much the same exact instructions, just slightly less detailed. So the only difference is this one actually has the limited warranty. I'll do it in parts. Pause if you want to read the video now. 2, 1, 0. And now. Wait a minute. Now. 2, 1, 0. Yeah, I can't hold it too still. Alrighty. Now it takes these kind of batteries here. I can't exactly remember what they're called, but they're mercury free. Unfortunately, they're the inner cells, which means they won't last that long. Now, it says under normal operation, if you've paused to read the manual, that this is the state it'll normally be in when in operation. When you push the button to, I forget which one it is, this one or this one, it'll display the time for a brief moment, and the batteries of good quality will last 1 year if you do it 20 times per day on average. So let's put some batteries into this. I don't know why he gave me a 3-pack. I know guy at Radio Shack was being really nice, trying to save me money, but alrighty. Now I gotta get the second one out. And the original batteries, like I said, in the negative terminal right around this ring was a layer of whitish gray corrosion. And now we put the batteries in as it says. Positive here, negative side there. Positive. Drop the battery. Negative, there they are. And now we pop on the back and hope for the best. Alright, I gotta muscle this on. Well, I can't get it back on, but 30 years later, focus Sony, it's running again. I forget which button sets. Oh, that's sad. The top LEDs don't work anymore. Alright, now that we know that this works, this is actually my 3rd attempt at setting the watch. I'm learning as I go because the manual doesn't really match it too well. Is you have to hit this button here, which doesn't show in any of the manuals. So use a small screwdriver and hit the button. Now we set the date by hitting the top right button right here. And hold it in, which is very painful. And it's November 8th as of this recording. Here we go, we got the 11. Now we hit it again to hit the date. Now we go to 8. There we go. Now we set the time. And the slash, I think, means PM, and I went by it. Okay, here we go. This is fun. This is very painful too. And now we're in the AM mode, and we can't just rapidly hit the button. It's not going to do anything. So we got to cycle through it again. Here we are back at PM. We want to stop at 4. There we go. And we hit the button again. Let's need to go to 53 at least. There, went to 54 because it's going to go past that moment. And then hit once more, and the watch is set. 4:54. There's your time. And there you have it. Now if you hold in the, it'll tell you this, that's the seconds that are going by. But that's the actual time. And supposedly this shows the date. And it does. See, 11/8 right there. 11/8, then it goes to... There we go. It took 3 attempts, but here we have it. 30 years dormant, although not the most useful watch with the LEDs that don't work. So it's just a symbolic thing to get it up and running again. So there we have it. The CompuChron Digital Wristwatch. Hope you enjoyed it.